Good day, guys. There are 2 new legendary heroes coming this weekend. So they should be arriving on Friday the 25th. Now if you go to the notice in game news, there is new hero Arrogance and new hero Vierna. Now they're both 5-star epics. Vierna is a mage and Arrogance is a fighter. I'm pretty certain Arrogance will be of the Nightmare faction. They already have Greed and Gluttony, for example. And Vierna, I'm pretty sure, will be Curse because she's an AoE mage and she kind of has that aesthetic. So those are the... Look at those. That's really cool. That's the factions I believe they'll be part of. Now there's 2 little clips we can look at to see footage. There's nothing else out yet. To clear up one misconception or one miscommunication that has been knocking about on the Discord, there is a notice saying that these will be available this weekend, which makes it sound like they're limited. However, we have had a developer confirm for us on the official Discord that they will be in the default summon pool after this weekend. So they're not limited heroes. They will be available afterwards. I believe this weekend there'll be a 10 times up rate for these 2 heroes. Though not an increase in summon rate, I believe. We'll have to see what comes. But yeah, they will be remaining in the summon pool after this weekend. They're not limited. And with that, let's have a look at the Arrogance hero. So if we hit go, it opens up a little browser. And we can take a look-see. Takes a little bit to load. Alright, so new hero, Cinderstalker, Zukhil, Arrogance will be available from November 25th to November 27th. Again, they will be available after that. This is a miscommunication. So we've got a little clip here we can play. So his ultimate Hellfire seems to be an active that appears for a duration. Let's go back. So it's automatically activated from the purple bar, so it's not an active you choose. And his damage goes up to 1650, 6.5k from 4.6k, which is what, 4 times growth? I don't know what it does aside from that. I'm assuming it has other effects. You can see he doesn't gain lifesteal. Something else interesting to see. Oh, okay. He's got a pretty chunky bow. So he can attack 2 tiles at least with his default attack. And it says usage, attack mode, shift, burst damage output. And in melee range he does slash. And then his ult changes to do massive burst damage. Don't know beyond that. He has a passive. So let me just see. Oh, my Hellfire. Okay, yeah, we didn't miss anything. So passive Infernal Feast AoE damage. So this... Okay, I just wanted to confirm it was hitting just the tile in front of him and not above. But as you can see, they're pathing in this line. So I don't think it's hitting... I think it might be. It's an AoE passive. So it probably hits all the tiles around him. Does it hit the tile beyond? I don't think it is. It may be. It's hard to tell. There's one... Okay, pause it. You see the... damage number here. He could be on either tile, so we don't quite know the range, but I'm guessing it is 2 tiles. So he has a passive that triggers an AoE damage. It says Infernal Feast, but his health doesn't seem to increase, so again one can assume it does not have lifesteal on it, so he's not a self-sustaining fighter, going by this at least. But it is nice to have AoE damage. What's the damage on it? 8k, so that's what, less than double his auto attack damage, but in AoE 14 points. Hold on, was that 16? Sorry, I'm going back a lot. I just want to see the numbers. Okay, so something to note as well, his passive is setting the enemy on fire, it seems, so he has the ability to apply flames. The burning effect, we'll look at that later because I believe it stacks from different sources. So this might open up different team comps that are stacking different burn effects. But I haven't really looked into that much yet. Sorry, we'll move back to just beyond the passive. So the last one, another passive, Devil's Dance, attack enhancement. I don't understand what that is. 2 attacks. Again, that's double damage. So it seems to make him attack twice, but for higher damage. And then this one is really interesting to me. So that's huge. Yeah. So it hit this guy up there while he was in this tile. And the bottom one, did it hit him? Oh. That's very interesting to me. So you can infer from how far this thing hits. It hits this guy down here. It is not just free out, because the guy below here looks like he's in the tile below. So it looks like it's a wider cone shape. So that's huge. I don't know how this works. It's an attack enhancement on a passive. You can assume it's a cooldown on a passive, maybe, because if it's every attack or every X amount of attacks, there would have to be someone he's hitting. It was not part of his default attacks, I think. So I'm interested to see how that works. But it looks like he has a huge attack range for a fighter, of all things. He's practically a marksman with that much attack range on that passive. So that's really cool. I'm very curious to see how that actually works, because it looks like it's potentially wider than you would first think by this guy in the bottom right getting hit. And if it is that wide, that's huge. He could defend multiple lanes. He would be very powerful in campaign. He would be good in Gear Raid 1 and 2, because that hit 3 people. So Gear 1, he would actually be quite good for AoE. And he has an AoE passive. Yeah, he'd be great in Gear Raid 1. And the burning effect would be nice as well. These all die from this hit, so we can't see. But I assume that might apply a burning effect as well. Yeah, seems very strong. I'm very curious to see what his skills actually look like. I guess we'll have to wait till Friday. So, new hero, Vierna. Big AoE attacks. Reaper's Grasp looks cool, like it. Arrogance looks cool as well, by the way. I didn't comment on that. I was too busy trying to figure out how he worked. So this one, new hero, Black Blood Soul Eater Vierna, will be available. Again, we know she'll be available beyond that. So, lots of pausing again. Actually, I'll let this one play through first, and then I'll go over it. So here you go. AoE damage is cool. Soul Extraction passive, some sort of stacking thing. Okay, we'll go over this bit by bit. So, what have we got? Wait, that's her ultimate, yeah? So I think this attack here is her default auto attack before the ultimate gets fired. I could be completely wrong. But it looks separate to this attack. There doesn't seem to be any relation to her hitting the first target and then casting this AoE. I'm not sure what the swirling thing is. Maybe that's a passive, maybe that's a ground effect. Yeah, I think you can just about see. Okay, no, I might be wrong there. So yeah, I'm not sure what the relation is between the spinning thing on the floor in advance of her ultimate. But the ultimate seems to do pretty good damage. There seems to be persistent damage. She has an auto attack. I don't know. It executes damage on low HP units. Execution of low HP targets. I guess it's just that. It's just a burst ult to finish things off. I'm not sure how useful that is. There aren't many situations where if you can get stuff low, you can typically kill them en masse. So, I don't know. I'll be interested to see how that works. These guys aren't particularly low health. They're like half health, and these guys are pretty healthy. So, it'll be interesting to see the scaling on that. Does it affect the dragon in an interesting way? Because the dragon's health bar is kind of just fixed. She's an AoE unit, so I'm assuming she's not really for dragon anyway. But I'm curious to see how that works. It's not really enough information from that to get much. So, the second is a passive soul extraction and attack enhancement. One can assume when she kills stuff, she gets stacks that increase her damage or attack speed or crit or something. So it'll be good to see what this actually means. But this will make her a monster in Gear Raid 1, no doubt. Though certainly this will have a cap, but that'll be interesting to see how that works. Vierna can summon a skeletal shield on a cooldown perhaps, or maybe it is related to her soul extraction. I'm not sure. Probably a cooldown. So the passive skeletal shield seems interesting. I'm guessing she passively applies a shield to units within her attack range sometimes. That's what that appears to be to me. I think that's pretty cool. That can help a lot. Initially I thought it might be a deployed unit, but no, it looks like she's boosting an existing hero. I don't have the hero. I haven't built the hero at least, so I was unfamiliar. So yeah, she seems interesting. I'm curious to know what Reaper's Grasp does. Giving damage reduction and AoE damage. I didn't notice the damage, let's see. 304 quite rapidly, maybe every half a second. But if we can see and assume the scaling is the same, then that's really not great scaling compared to the rest of her damage. So we can assume that won't scale much higher. If so, I don't really rate that, personally, because units don't die that much in this game. If your units are dying, it's usually because you're not killing the enemies fast enough. So physical damage reduction, that might help people get past Gear Raid 2, and maybe if there's more difficult content in future that could help. So maybe this is in prep for future content where you need that. So far I haven't really seen the need to make defenders tankier. I mean, you can see this defender already taking like nothing, and the self-heal is not implied by the usage text, so I don't know about that one. I'm not too impressed with Vierna's kit off the bat. She has an execute, which is great. Maybe we'll have to see the scaling. The soul extraction could be great. The skeletal shield doesn't seem that interesting to me. Now these passive area fields, they could be something similar to Zealous, but I don't know. We haven't seen anything, so I'm unsure about her. I think her design looks really cool. I think both of the designs are pretty good, but out of the two of them, I think Arrogance is going to be a stronger unit. Nightmare units, especially for fighters, are already stacked as hell, but I just don't see the need for another fighter. Mainly I think Arrogance will be strong because of his attack reach on this. This will be amazing, and the damage on that was quite high. It wasn't like, oh, he hit them and did nothing. These are weak mooks. These skeletons have fairly high physical armor, but these are probably quite low level enemies. This is not a very fast stage, I believe, though. Who knows what they're testing with. But I'm interested to see how these units scale. I think Arrogance will be very strong. Having a ranged option as a fighter is amazing, and the range on that was quite high. So yeah, quick have a look at those two. I'm going to pull this weekend. I don't have much to pull with. My misery from the weekend just gone, the 2-time summons, means that I'm pretty far into what I believe there's a pity around 200 summons-ish. So maybe I can hit pity this weekend and get one of these two if I'm lucky. If so, I'll do a video going over them. I'm planning to do some spotlight videos of my own to cover the units and how I recommend building them, where they're useful, stuff like that. If I get one of these guys, I'll definitely do that. So hopefully that happens. If you get them, then let me know. Let me know what you think of them and how they are. It'll be very interesting to see how they play. We have been told on the Discord by the developers that apparently they are very strong units. I don't know what that means. I guess they want us to spend money to buy them, but we'll see. It'd be interesting to see more about how these work. There is a third unit as well that isn't announced for this weekend, Azhor. Maybe that was the person that had the shield on them in the clip and I just wasn't paying attention. Let me have a look. Did it look like a little dwarf? Maybe this is a secret teaser to show what the dwarf is like. Is that Azhor? It's so small. I don't think that's Azhor, is it? It looks like a lady to me, but maybe I'm blind. If it's a hero that exists, I don't have them. But the mace looks similar to me, and it was in the right hand. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'll upload something in the next few days if I get any of these by the end of the week. On Friday is when I'll do my summons. I probably won't do a video for the summons because there won't be that many, but we'll see. But yeah, look forward to the heroes at the weekend. Also pay attention because there is going to be some kind of sign-in event, 7-day sign-in, starting on Friday, finishing next Wednesday. So hopefully this gives us some interesting rewards, maybe something related to these heroes. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there. So thank you guys and take care.